Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Netflix is down 0.68%, so the earnings came out and I think they got a beat on EPS and also on revenue, but the stock is doing absolutely nothing. So going into tomorrow's session, watch out if there is a pullback down to lower Bollinger Band, which is sitting right here at 641. That's going to be something to watch because we got a bounce off of that level yesterday and today, and we might see some sort of a bounce tomorrow morning. Now, if that gives up at some point, you can see Bollinger Band coming down. Then the next support is at 630, and below 630, you're going to see a lot more selling, maybe even down to this support right here. That's going to be around 626 and then down to 604. To the upside, Netflix will find resistance at 651, right here 50-day moving average, and over that we could see Netflix going back up to 20-day moving average 671, and over that this gap will likely to get filled at 673. And once we get above 673, then we can talk about more upside, possibly going back up to 700. Until then, it's not looking too hot, and this thing can continue to go down even more if this thing actually gives up and this lower Bollinger Band actually comes down more, down to 630. So AMD continues to go down today, again down 2.30%, came all the way down to 153, and you can see these lows down here, a strong support level right here, 153. It was holding, went back up, and now trading at almost 156. But I would say if you want to see AMD moving higher from here, we need to get above 164, and if that happens, definitely you're going to see continuation to the upside, back up to retest 20-day moving average right here 168, and over that 172 to 173, and then this gap at 174. Until then, AMD cannot break over 164, then definitely it's on a downtrend and we could see more selling under 153 to 155. You will see a lot more selling down to 148 and possibly even much lower from there. On Apple, stock is down 2%, so selling here on Apple definitely continuing, and looks like we might be finding a higher low here, and this gap will likely to get filled right here at 221.55, and that could happen early as tomorrow morning if this sell-off continues. So watch out, Apple looks like want to come down and close this gap and possibly find a higher low, and also this is another level where we saw that breakout over 220, so that's going to be a strong support in between this gap, 221.55 to 220. Now to the upside, Apple will find resistance at 227, and over that you're going to see continuation back up to 230, and then this gap 232.33. But I would go and buy Apple and maybe try to swing trade or even a day trade after filling this gap right here, at least down here at 221.55. Until then, guys, if you're buying in the middle, I mean, yes, you might get lucky, but I don't suggest going in here in the middle. Let's see if this thing can close this gap and possibly finds a higher low here. Anything closer to 220 to even this gap, 221.55 on Apple stock. On Meta, it's up 3%, so this was a fantastic trade that I actually took yesterday. It was actually underwater, and this is why things can come out. If you can take time and if you have patience, you're going to make money. Now, yesterday I took some calls and it was really a small position, a starter position here on Meta, right here just above 470, and immediately the sell-off continued and the position was underwater. All I had to do, add some more calls down here, and what happened today, guys? Explosion. Right in the morning at opening, took profit on Meta. It was up like almost 3%, took profit. And I'm not even sharing all my trades. You guys can go and check out on my X account. I did share that trade on Goldman Sachs. It was fantastic. Shorted at 504, and now that thing is trading at 484, down 20 bucks. We shorted DIA yesterday. That thing also paid today, came down over 6-7 bucks. IWM, same thing. We shorted and paid. So all these trade ideas, and especially if you want to support the channel and get all these trade ideas, live trading, definitely check out their link down below in the description. And if you're on X, you can also give me a follow, and that link will be down below in the description as well. Now here on Meta, guys, we do have a gap and we do have earnings coming out end of this month. So 470 can hold. Watch out for continuation up to this gap, almost at 486, and over that the next resistance at 490. And if this thing can clear and hold 490, we're going to see more upside even before earnings, possibly back up to 500, and then 504 to 506 up to 20-day moving average, and then this gap 508.37 to the downside. 470 gives up. You're going to see continuation to the downside, and the next support will be down here at 452. On Amazon, stock is down over 2%, so Amazon continued to sell off today and looks like came down to 181, touching and going under lower Bollinger Band, which is sitting right here near 183, and basically came back up and trying to hold this lower Bollinger Band as a support. So that's going to be level to watch, 183 and then 180 to the downside, and below 180 we might be coming all the way back down to 173. Now if this sell-off is over, this mini correction is over, and you can see, I mean, we sliced through that support 190. I mean, this thing just came right under the support and not even holding this previous breakout as a support anymore. So now if this thing goes right back up, maybe up to 190, up to this gap 192.24, we can find a lower high, and from there this thing can continue to sell off. So if you're shorting, I mean, don't short into this hole right here. Wait for it, wait for a bounce on Amazon. And where this thing can go, if we get a bounce off of this level 183, 185, 188, 50-day moving average, and I'm just rounding the numbers here, guys. 187.78, so 188, and then 190, and over that 192. And underneath 183, you'll see 180, and then 173. On Google, stock is down 1.86%, so Google also not holding this support right here, 180, and you can clearly see, guys, I mean, it's not holding this support anymore, and now it's trading at 179. So Google here, what's happening, all these big names are selling off pretty much at the same time, except one name, which is Tesla. But all these names went up and Tesla was down, so that makes sense, right? Tesla, you know, I'm still bullish on Tesla, and Tesla was trying to go back up again today, and there was a trade idea for Tesla this morning as well, and if we took it, you know, that thing exploded. Now Google here, you can see the next support at 176, and we pretty much got there today. 178 low for the day, and now it's holding right here at 179, 50-day moving average. So 179, that's gonna be your line in the sand for tomorrow. 50-day moving average, this red line, and below that 176 and then 170. Now if Google actually goes right back up over 180, this would be a look below and fail, and if this thing can hold 180, we should see some continuation back up to, I would say, 185 and possibly higher from there. We can talk about it once we get up to 185 on Google. On Tesla, stock is up 0.29%, so Tesla again holding 13-day moving average 247 now, and also trying to get above 251, and it's just pinned right here and not getting over 258. You can see another attempt today, got up to almost 258 and a rejection, and now holding right here, guys, 247. So Tesla can hold anywhere from 247 to 251 right here, 5-day moving average. We should see some sort of a breakout over 258, and if that happens, look at this, you can definitely see Tesla going up to 300. Now if this thing cannot get that breakout over 258 and takes out 240, comes down here, then you're going to see a dump off down to this gap 231.30, and below this level there will be more selling down to 20-day moving average 227, and then this gap comes into play 213. On a Microsoft, is down 0.71%. So Microsoft, I took some calls today right here on Microsoft, and this thing went underwater. Started with a small position here on Microsoft, and I'm still holding. So we might get paid tomorrow. Looks like there is a gap at 446.66. So it might go there, and we actually got a red hammer type candle. So this thing here, you can see why I actually held on today, even though this thing came down to 434.40, and I actually added some more Microsoft here for the second time. because there is a reason. I mean, if this thing goes up to 446 right here tomorrow, and tomorrow is Friday, guys, so things can happen. I know Apex tomorrow, but who cares? It's getting oversold, a big name here, trading under lower Bollinger Band, hitting 50-day moving average. I'm going to buy. So now we might get paid on this one. If this thing actually breaks and holds 443, or we might see a gap up over that level tomorrow. If that happens, it's going all the way back up to 446, and the money is going to be delivered tomorrow if that happens. Otherwise, if this thing breaks under 436.67, I'm going to close it by end of tomorrow because I'm not going to hold this. This thing can dump even more all the way down to 432. But I'm expecting some sort of a relief rally here on Microsoft. So far, it's just selling out for past maybe 4 or 5 days, straight down, even down today. So we might see some sort of a relief rally early as tomorrow morning, as long as the support can hold right here, 436.67, and right now it's holding on to lower Bollinger Band right here at 439-ish right here. So we need to get over 443, and then you're going to see this gap getting filled near 447 on Microsoft. On Nvidia stock, it's up 2.63%. So here's another one. Took bunch of plays today, guys. Usually I take 1 or 2 plays for the day, but a lot of plays today. Even Nvidia I took early in the morning, got 40% out of it. This thing I got in at 119 and then rallied back up to, I think, almost it went past 121. But I took profit early because this thing definitely not looking good. Even though we're getting bounce off of that level 118, you can see it's trying to go back up and possibly will hit 123 tomorrow. That's going to be a strong resistance to watch. And over 123, this gap comes into play on top. That's going to be near 125. And then we also have resistance at 126. For tomorrow, definitely, there is nothing here but this support right here. That's going to be around 117.85. Rounded up, that's going to be 118. And underneath 118, if we close tomorrow on this one below 118, it's all over. You're going to see a lot more selling, possibly coming down here 107 next week. But if this thing is able to break and hold, I would say 123, maybe it will go right back in inside this trend line and possibly above 126. That would be another bottom here on Nvidia stock, because you can see, I mean, multiple times came back. It's holding this 118 range. And if this thing actually gets a bounce off of that level, and you can see yesterday and today, same thing happening. So you already know this is actually a big level. And if that gives up, that's going to become a resistance. And in that case, this thing will dump even more. But so far, Nvidia holding 118. So stay bullish over 118. And if this thing breaks under 118, then you're going to see a lot more selling to the downside on Nvidia stock. For tomorrow, 118 support, resistance at 123, 125 the gap fill, and then 126 strong resistance, and over that this thing can push even higher back up to 130. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. And keep putting that 150 likes like you guys were doing. Absolutely loving it, guys, and I do appreciate each and every one of you guys doing that and supporting the channel, especially on YouTube.